Most of us work with a jerk. These are toxic people that you meet at the workplace, and their sole goal and purpose in life, they seem to be hell bent on making your life, well, hell. And it turns out that all of these toxic people operate by the same playbook. So I thought, why not learn about their ways and stay a step ahead? According to NYU professor Tessa West, these are the 4 kinds of toxic coworkers that you're likely to meet. The first kind is somebody who is a social climber. These poisonous people have one singular goal: to climb to the top by any means necessary, absolutely any means necessary. They often mistreat or sabotage the people on their own level or people whom they perceive to be at a level lower than them, while constantly and simultaneously trying to please and win over the people who are higher up. Social climbers can make themselves look like team players even though they're anything but that. They tend to be extremely comfortable with the notion that it's okay to step on other people's toes to get ahead in life. And these are the same co-workers that will belittle you in front of the people that you're trying to impress while trying to schmooze with the higher ups at corporate parties, at company parties. One thing they're great at doing is managing their perceptions at the very top, in the eyes of the executives and leaders, that they're a valuable asset to the company. So what do we do about it? Do we just accept our fate and accept the fact that we'll keep getting mistreated when we're around them? I think there are a few clever ways to handle them. You see, there is strength in numbers. If you feel victimized by this social climber, the chances are that there are other people also who feel like you. There are other victims to this jerk. Find these other victims and make them an ally. The more people that you can find who have been victimized by this social climber, the better. Once you find these allies, check with them, ask them if they're comfortable speaking up when the time comes. And while you're preparing for that right opportunity, collect evidence and data about the terrible impact that the social climber has on your work environment. And when the chance finally does arise, to stand up for yourself and right the wrongs, you want to start by talking about the strengths that this social climber has. You want to acknowledge what they're good at, credit where credit is due. And from there, you want to convince your leader that they also have a slightly unfortunate side to them where they make other people at work feel terrible. You want to showcase that this social climber, is a habitual offender, and the problem is so widespread, affecting the culture of your team, that your leader must act. The second kind of toxic people that you will meet at work are bulldozers. They're exactly what the name suggests. They have 2 trademark moves. First, they take on any group decision-making process and make it their own. They make it impossible for you to get even a single word in your meetings. And second, they target weak bosses and corner them, getting them to submit to them. Bulldozers are bullies. Unlike social climbers, bulldozers are not sophisticated. They're not subtle about it. They're aggressive and in your face. They don't care to hide their aggressive behavior. In fact, they overwhelm you by it. And the thing about bulldozers is that they don't complain to your boss. They go to the boss's boss. They skip a level. They're scary people, and bosses usually don't want to pick a fight with them. So how do you deal with bulldozers? You make a compromise. You pick your battles. You see, bulldozers love to fight. Every time you draw them into a fight, they're in home ground. They feed off of it. And you have to accept the fact that you're not going to win every confrontation with them. Begin by assessing if the bulldozer's actions are making your life hell in the short term or the long term. I only take on bulldozers when they have a long-lasting impact on my mental health or my quality of work. But if and once you decide to take on that bulldozer, you cannot do it alone. You'll need a team game plan to go about it. For example, if you know that they're going to interrupt a meeting, if you're presenting and you know that they're going to butt in and make that meeting all about themselves, then prepare a game plan. Speak to your colleagues and coworkers who are going to be there on this meeting. Brief them in advance about the ways in which the meeting could go. And prepare a contingency plan for when the bulldozer butts in, which is bound to happen. You need your entire team on your side, especially if you have a submissive boss, because they will not speak up. The third kind of toxic people you see at work, and I feel a little bit of sympathy for them because it's not their fault. These are the micromanagers. In a survey conducted by Professor West for her seminal research, she found that 79% of people that she had surveyed had experienced micromanagement at some level in their career. Micromanagers oversee everything you do, from the time you log in, to the time you log out, to how you sign off on your emails, to your calendar even. They're actually just terrible at prioritizing who needs their attention and who doesn't. And the irony of micromanagers is that they're the hardest workers on the team, yet get so little done, because they're constantly trying to oversee every step of what their co-workers are trying to do. So how do you handle micromanagers? Make an effort to keep the micromanager in the loop about everything you do, no matter how annoying it is to to you or the micromanager. Doesn't matter. Loop them in everything. We've historically found that micromanagers behave the way they do simply because they're anxious. They feel like things are not under their control. And that's when they try to nitpick. But by doing short, frequent check-ins with them, letting them know about everything that you're up to, what you've planned versus what you've got done, frequently, it rids them of their anxiety and they leave you alone forever.
Hang on for a second. If you've come this far in the video and you're finding value in it, do consider subscribing to my channel and hitting like on this video because it's free for you, but it really helps me out. Now, back to the video.
Now, the fourth and perhaps the most sinister kind of toxic coworkers you will meet are the gaslighters. The gaslighter deceives you on a grand scale, and they do this by creating an alternative reality. They confuse you. They make you feel like the reality that you see isn't real at all. Gaslighters cut you off from your coworkers, make you feel isolated, while also making you feel special. And they do this at the cost of your self-worth, completely destroying it. I'll explain what I mean. Most of us think that a gaslighter is somebody who's trying to destroy us. But that's actually not the case. What normally tends to happen is that this person comes into your life, makes you feel special, as if you're privileged, that only you understand their plight, only you understand what they're trying to say. They make you feel like an insider, as if you know things that other people don't. Unfortunately, this person has no interest in seeing you succeed. Their only goal is to have power and control over you. They'll even go to the extent of saying, don't go for coffee and drinks with these coworkers. They're so toxic. Oh, you know what they say behind your back about you? Oh, I heard this person said this about you. Oh, but don't tell anyone I told you. This is just between the two of us because I care for you. These are all telltale signs that you're being gaslit. Here is how you need to handle a gaslighter. The priority is always to free yourself from the grip of this coworker. Document everything down, from every comment made to every suggestion and story told. These small records will be invaluable when you're finally ready to open up to other people, if such a situation does arise. Focus on building your network little by little. You see, what the gaslighters try to do over weeks and months is try to isolate you and keep you away from people by telling you that these other people aren't good for you. Retaking control over your work life is by doing exactly what this person does not want you to do. It's to be independent of them. It's to free yourself from them. It's by turning to other people for help. It's by having other friends. I hope you never have to run into these 4 kinds of people at work. But if you do, you know what to do.